Hi, everybody. Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you're safe and well. Welcome to News at 10, where we bring you the headlines, which you might not have had time to talk about in the day, or anything new that's breaking. Won't be every day, but most days we'll be providing you with a News at 10 little bulletin, and you can whisk you off to sleep if you're in Europe, or into the afternoon in the Americas, or in the morning for our friends in the APAC regions. We've got two stories to talk about. The first one is a story which broke just before lunchtime, actually, on the Jim White and Jordan show on TalkSport. Jim White took to the show and said that basically Declan Rice's price tag has been set of £120 million. If anyone wants to buy Dec, it's going to cost them £120 million. This coincides with comments made by David Moyes at the end of the Newcastle 1-1 draw at the weekend, where he said that basically he would take a British record to break in terms of the fee to let Declan Rice go. And that would be a British transfer record for a British player, particularly as well. So you look at Chelsea spending £100 million on Enzo Valencia. Could you imagine? He was on the peripherals of joining Barcelona at transfer window. But anyway, I meant Enzo Fernandez. So that gives you an idea of the type of fee that it's going to cost. Also in that show, Jim White, and actually in the same breath, I think, Jim White revealed that Man United put in a bid of £100 million on Declan Rice in last summer, and that was rejected by West Ham, obviously, because he's not a Man United player currently, so it must have been rejected. So £100 million was rejected for Declan Rice already. And so to go with the £120 million is going to cost if you want to have him. It's an open secret that this summer he's probably more likely to go than stay. He's got 12 months left in his contract as well. So the risk of maybe him leaving for nothing if we don't cash in the summer, in all honesty. But we shall wait and see. But we know how much it's going to cost you. And then the second story is around injuries. We spoke about Tilo Kehrer at Hammers Headlines. He went off with a hamstring problem at halftime for the Newcastle game. Was replaced by Ben Johnson at halftime. The idea was to take him off now, rather than aggregate his hamstring any further. So he's doubtful for the Chelsea game. So our centre-back partnership injury continues. Ben Johnson, I imagine, will be playing in that back three role on the right-hand side for the Chelsea game. At the moment, there's no timeline for his return to the first team. Obviously, Kurt Zouma's out as well. Obviously, we had the surprise, slightly ahead of schedule, news when Danny Ings was on the bench for the Newcastle game, and we've got one more waiting for. Well, two more. Cornet's gone back to France and he's at 60-70%, so I imagine he'll be back in a week or times too in the squad, and so will this man, according to injury expert Ben Dini. He estimates a 2 to 3 week timeline for Gianluca Scamacca to return to the first team squad. He's had problems with his knee, which was sustained in the 2-2 draw with managerless Leeds, who got rid of Jesse Marsh today as their first team coach after a relatively short amount of time. They did the same thing last year, didn't they, with Bielsa around the same time, and brought in Jesse Marsh. So maybe they're hoping for another bounce. Be interesting to see who they get in with the likes of Sean Dyche, obviously at Everton now. And also Southampton are looking at maybe getting rid of Nathan Jones after a very short period of time there. He was on the press conference on Saturday saying he compromised on his playing style to benefit the team, the fans, the board, that type of thing. So he's already slagging everyone off already. But apparently Gianluca may be back into 2 to 3 weeks. He's had plasma treatment on his knee in terms of injections. He's had the last treatment last Wednesday, and 2 weeks would lead you probably quite nicely to the Spurs game, which is what was earmarked for his return date. So he seems to be slightly on par for a return date around the Spurs time. And that's it, my friends. Short and sweet, just like me. Give us a comment, give us a like, subscribe if you're new, maybe become a channel member. We had a couple of new channel members during the live show where myself and Alf did the player ratings at lunchtime from the Newcastle game. So go back and check that out and completely, go against everything that I've said because you always do it anyway. So take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. Sweet dreams, my friends, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye.